Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a good week and staying safe. For those of you who know me a little better, know that I work in the healthcare field, and this last week was very hectic with this COVID-19 virus, which is why I haven't really put out any magic reviews over the past week. Today I have a requested magic review for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at Marvoyan's Bolivian Brain-Bafflers. Now this was a requested magic review by Hugh James Barry. So this is a little mentalist book. It's only 36 pages, and I did mention this. I mentioned an impromptu mental gem that you can find in here in another one of my reviews. So this was published back in 1984. And at that time, it was selling for $10. Well, you can still pick it up for $10 from library.com. You can get the actual physical book if you want it from eBay, and I think it's probably about $12 off of eBay. I do like physical books. Sometimes I do pick up PDFs though. But since I had picked this one up a long time ago, I still, I just have the physical book. And so Marvoyan is a Bolivian mentalist who he was semi-professional. He specialized in close-up mentalism effects, and he published all his mentalism ideas with Supreme Magic. So if you do like the material you're going to find in here, I would recommend that you check out Magigram magazine, which was also published by Supreme Magic. He had a regular column there. If you stay tuned to the end of this review, I will also give you guys another recommendation of one of his routines in Magigram that I really liked a lot and I still use all the time. So stay tuned for that. So this little book is worth 5 or 6 times what you're going to pay for it. And you probably should just turn off this review now and just forget all about this, because after you watch this, you're going to hope that nobody else buys this. You're going to want to covet the material that you're going to find in this little book. In here, you're going to find pretty much all the different types of mentalism effects that exist. You're going to find routines in here that have to do with telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, divination, hypnosis, telekinesis. I think that's pretty much everything you're going to find in here. I think probably the only one thing you're not going to find in here is like mind control. That being said, I think you're going to find pretty much every single other type of mentalism type effect in here. There is even there's even an effect in here that has to do with psychometry as well. So if you're into psychometry, then you'll like that as well. Now, I'm just going to briefly go over about half of the routines in here, just to give you guys a good idea of what you can expect to find, okay? So my favorite routine in the book is called Triple Alternative, okay? Triple Alternative is a type of bank night type routine, but it's only done one-on-one. And like I'd mentioned, Marvoyan's routines are pretty much mostly for close-up mentalism. Now imagine this. You take out 6 envelopes, you explain to your spectator that some of the envelopes contain money. You let them make all the decisions. They end up keeping 3, you have 3. They open up theirs and there's all just white paper. You open up yours and each one has a bill in it. That's the effect. It's very simple. Now, the nice part about it is that because of the original thinking, it has multiple layers of method involved. It does kind of remind me a little bit of Max Maven's Positively Negative, just because it's got that kind of multi-layered thinking in it. So the outcome is dependent on what the spectator does, and there's multiple different outcomes that could happen. So in one outcome, it's like the ideal outcome. It looks like an utter miracle, a complete total miracle, and that actually happens quite often. Any way you look at it, the outcome is going to be good. And because of the layering of methods, they're never going to be able to backtrack how this was possible. Part of what I really liked about Marvoyan was that he was kind of isolated, so I don't think he had access to a lot of mentalism literature. So all of the ideas you're going to find in here are very original. And what's nice is that every effect seems totally different from the one before it. Like the actual principles and methods are totally different. which is nice. So this isn't like a carbon copy of the classic original mentalism effects that are out there. A lot of what you're going to read in here is going to be stuff that you're going to see methods that you haven't seen before, which is really nice. I really like that a lot. So my second favorite effect in here, of course, is the one that I mentioned to you guys in the other review. It's that impromptu gem called Science Fiction Prediction. Notice I know the name like off the top of my head because that's how many times I've performed it. So he does give you some patter in here for that, but you can come up with any patter you want. And the effect in a nutshell is the perfect impromptu mentalism effect. You have nothing on you and somebody wants to see something. You just take a piece of paper and you ask them for 4 objects or 4 names. You write them down. You rip the paper into 4 pieces and you make 4 little balls. Then you tell them you're going to make a prediction. You write something down and you leave it there. The spectator makes a choice out of the 4 balls. They choose one and they open the paper and it's a perfect hit. It's really awesome. And the nice thing is because of layered methods, again, just like the other routine, the spectator's never gonna ever feel that you were leading them down a path, like there was some kind of magician's choice. I really like how they can change their mind along the way multiple times, which makes it really nice. This effect you are going to perform and immediately. In fact, the moment that you read it, you'll be like, this is ingenious, and you'll be running out to perform it. It's one of those effects that I perform more than any other. Those 2 effects alone are totally worth the price of this book. But that's not all. There's so much more in here. If you're into stage magic, there's a couple of stage effects in here. There's a bold prediction, which is good for stage or parlor. And it is just that. It's a bold headline prediction, which is low tech, low budget, and it's great for stage, it's great for parlor. You're gonna love it, and it works great. It really fools people. That's called bold prediction. In fact, I saw somebody mention that bold prediction from this little book in a magic magazine. That was the only one effect they actually mentioned, so I guess it really impressed them. If you are into stage magic, there is an effect in here. I've never performed it, but it's called Mind Over Matter, and this is designed for stage where 2 spectators are on stage. They're holding a piece of a newspaper. Each of them is holding half the newspaper, and then you're like 10 feet away, and then you make a motion like this, and then suddenly the newspaper just starts to rip down the middle. The spectators are doing nothing but holding it. And then when you stop doing this, the newspaper stops ripping. It is like really a telekinesis type effect. It reads super simple to set up and do. The method is very clever, low tech, and low budget. So for those people that are looking for something for stage that's low tech, low budget, I would recommend you check this out. It looks pretty good. Another routine in here that you might like is called Bundle of Banknotes. Now this one I have performed, and it really is nice to perform for 5, 6, 7 people. You take out a little bag that has some little cords hanging out of it that are clipped to the bag. You explain to the spectator that at the end of one of the cords is a bundle of banknotes tied up. So you have each one select one. They pull on the cord and they leave you with one. Of course, the one they leave you with has the bundle of banknotes attached to the other end of it. So it's like the ultimate Kurutsuki effect, except totally different method, because this guy probably didn't know about what Kurutsuki was when he came up with it. You're gonna like it, and you're probably gonna perform it, like I said. In fact, the very first effect in this book is super low tech, and it's like a hypnosis type effect. It's called hypnotic geometry. Imagine you take out your business card. You have a circle and a square drawn on it. You tell your spectator, you can do this for 2 spectators or even more. You tell them you're gonna hypnotize them. You tell them that you want them to sign their name in the square. They sign their name in there. You take your business card and you put it face down on the table, and then you ask them where they signed their name. And they're gonna tell you, well, in the square where you told us to. And you tell them, well, I told you I was gonna hypnotize you. When they turn over the business card, their signatures are in the circle, not the square. So low tech, low budget, original thinking, very clever. Again, like I said to you guys, any one of these pieces is probably worth the price of this book. Negative wise, you may find a couple of effects in here that you're not gonna like. Obviously, There's an effect in here that's called mental poker. I would never perform it. So of course, there's some things in here you're not gonna like. But the reality is that 4 or 5 of the routines in this book out of the 12, you're gonna perform and you're gonna enjoy, and they're things that you're gonna keep going back to over and over again. I would not hesitate to rate this book as 5 out of 5 stars, and the main reason is because it's extremely economical. It's got very strong mentalism in here. I love close-up mentalism effects, and it's very practical, low budget, original thinking. I can't say that enough. So I would highly recommend you guys take a look and check this out. Now, for those of you that stuck with me to the end of this review, the routine that I told you I was gonna mention in Magigram magazine is, that routine is actually called Good Luck Next Time. Now, this is what the routine looks like. You bring out a plate or a tray that has 3 items on it. For instance, it could be like a coin, a key, and I don't know, like a paper clip or something. You have, your right hand is closed, and you tell them, in your right hand you have an object. And you tell them to choose one of the 3. You say, choose one of these 3. They pick up one of the 3. You ask them, you want to change your mind or no? They're happy with that, right? You open up your hand, it's the same object. So basically, if they chose the key, you have the key, and you have another key in your hand. Mind blown. So simple, so low tech, you will immediately perform that. So you can find that in Magigram Volume 23, page 384. And I think you can pick that up from library.com for $3. Think about that, $3. What a good deal, right? So I would recommend that to you guys. I've had a lot of success with that effect. I really like it a lot. So if you guys have any questions about this review, please just leave me a comment below. As always, if you have anything you want me to review, just leave me a comment. I will try to get to it in a timely manner. I'm trying to get to all the requests. I just have quite a few to go through. As always, thanks for checking out my reviews, guys, and I'll see you on the next review.